it's a brand new day. Hey. Wake up every morning and say, it's a brand new day. Hey. Take a good day, make it great, okay? 'Cause if you got some lemons, make some lemonade, yeah.
Welcome back to part 2 with Miss Katrina Lokko. Welcome back, Katrina.
Well, thank you guys. I so enjoyed it the last time, so let's get into it now.
Okay, so
I don't know
let's
what
get
y'all
right
gonna be
into
asking.
it.
We're going to get down with it.
I probably need to get up and walk away from that.
Don't do that.
We have a lot to serve.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, Katrina, who gets up in the morning and says that they're going to start their own national television show?
That would be me.
That would be
That would
you.
be- Yeah. When I was 9 years old, I remember asking, I always watched this show, The Family Affair, and I always wanted the Mrs. Beasley doll.
I love that
Do
show.
y'all remember that? You
I
may
do.
not, but I know they probably do. And so I did get the Mrs. Beasley doll for Christmas, but I got the Mrs. Beasley doll. So in my mind, I was thinking that I was going to get one that looked like me. I didn't know, I didn't know. And I didn't. And my grandmother was like, but you asked for the doll. And I'm like, she doesn't come in black. And I'm like, but why? So she couldn't explain that. So I painted my doll and got in trouble. Like, oh, you wasted our money. But I painted the doll, and I remember her trying her best to explain to a 9-year-old at that time why. And I told myself, well, when I own my own television network and magazine, I'm going to put all people in there no matter what they look like. And she was like, well, you'll do it. And so that was when I spoke out of my own mouth when I was 9 that I will have a magazine and I will own a television
You
network.
spoke it in existence.
Amen.
And so my grandmother was in was
Yes.
in agreement with that, and she always encouraged that.
Yes.
So that's how it came to be.
Awesome-tastic.
Ooh.
So what does FMD Global stand for?
I named it after her because she was inspiration. So her name is Fannie Mae Dixon.
Okay.
So FMD.
Okay.
Oh,
Love
wow.
it. Yes.
So, wow.
Was she here to see it come to fruition for you?
Yes and no. She was here when I started Women of Abundant Wealth in Clarksville, Tennessee. She was still alive then. She died at 102.
Wow.
And she was in her right mind, and she was still living by herself.
Okay.
But she got to see that, so she did see that the talk show come to pass. But the actual FMD Global, no,
Okay.
she didn't. But she always knew.
Yeah.
She always knew that it would.
Oh, wow.
And she got to see the magazine.
Okay.
Yes, she did get to see those
Awesome.
things.
Now, I mean, how inspirational. I mean, that's awesome. Tastic.
Give me 5.
That's your word, awesome-tastic.
Yes.
So, Katrina, when you passed the torch, what about us three ladies that really, really inspired you to choose us?
Wow. That was when I prayed about it, when I moved from doing Women of Abundant Wealth to Bold and Unique Living with Katrina Lokko, and I thought it was the end of it until the Most High told me, no, you can have other women come in and do that. I'm like, well, what other women? So just in meeting you guys and spending time with you guys, each of you have a character or personality of me and my grandmother. It's something you said or done that just kind of triggered me, but each of you have a character that's, compatible with what Women of Abundant Wealth is.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, that is perfect. So I take everything in prayer.
Okay.
And we had other people that we were interviewing because Shamila was the first one that came on. We had other people, and they were good and worked out, but things happened for them. That's like,
Right.
we can't really devote the time.
Yes.
And so with you guys, and I'd known you, but then I thought, well, maybe Kathy. But then you came to us and was like, yeah, you're perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yes,
And then
yes.
Lisa, like, you're perfect. When I met you, and I'm like, yeah, you're perfect. So you three embody Women of Abundant Wealth.
Yes.
And then when you guys met and I just watched you guys together, I'm like, oh my God, it's such
The
a chemistry. But
interaction.
Yeah.
yes, y'all have chemistry, not just on the set, but
Right.
just in life. Y'all have done stuff together
Yes.
outside of here.
Yes.
And it's like, yep, this is perfect. And no other women will do. Now maybe someday y'all pass the torch, because, but right now this is it.
This
Oh.
is it.
And I'm just sitting back, executive producing, and just directing, doing what I need to do to get it out there.
Oh, that's awesome-tastic.
Oh, fantastic.
Y'all, she just gave it to me because I'm her cousin. I'm kidding.
No, she had it. Honey, you have to, family or no family. No nepotism here.
That's right.
Right.
Because
That's right.
Because this is a God thing, so everything has to
Right,
be
it has to line
the
up.
way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
It does.
I'm
So,
glad
what
I
are
was
your
chosen.
beliefs in helping each other to succeed?
It's a must. There is no pausing about it. There's no question about it. You have to. Everybody needs mentors. You'll always need a mentor. You'll always need somebody to help you. When people say self-made, I kind of cringe, but I understand why they say that. But
Yeah,
nobody
we all
really is self-made.
That's right.
Even if somebody bought you a cup of water when you were just about to die of thirst, then that person is responsible for you living to accomplish that goal. So you'll always need people. You'll always need people, and people.
Can you
will
say that
always need you.
again?
Ah,
Always
no.
need people.
Because people struggle because they don't.
Yes,
look.
and that
they
was my
don't
next
believe-
thing.
yeah.
You cannot do stuff like the network. You think I would be doing this? You think I'm doing this by myself? When I did try to do it by myself, it didn't go anywhere. It wasn't until the Lord started bringing team members and stuff,
Right.
because we went through phase one. Phase one ran from 2015 to 2023. Now we're moving on to phase two. So I would be crazy. Anybody would be crazy to think a vision that huge you can do it yourself. You cannot.
No, you definitely
And not have
can't.
it be
That's
successful.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Because the larger you get, you will need people.
You need
to-
Exactly.
You have to delegate people to do
You
different
do.
things.
Exactly.
You do. And you can't be afraid to delegate.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to a commercial break. We're going to hear a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with more with Miss Katrina Lokko.
And welcome back. We are here with Katrina Lokko. So y'all know that I'm a bookworm, and I know you read books. But what I want to know is there a book that you felt helped you with your success?
Absolutely. It's called the Bible, but I call it the Ancient Passion Letters from Papa. And I will
Yes.
tell you, in the book of Genesis, the incident with Joseph, that is a good business book. People don't know that. Leviticus is a good business book.
Yes.
Galatians is a good business book. If you read it and get really deep into them, you will see that it is like phenomenal. Ezra and Nehemiah, those books are team building books. It shows you how to build a team, how to leverage the book of Luke and the book of Matthew, shows you exactly who to put on your team.
Definitely.
It shows you who to put on your team. And if people, I applaud everybody going out and buy everybody books, because I do. I buy everybody's book, and I
Yes.
want people to buy my books.
Yes.
But the Bible is my first go-to, because
Yes.
everything I need for business and life, it is in there. It is in there, and it's proven. And then there's reasons why he say do it those ways, not to punish us, not because it's rule and regulation and try to control. It's really actually for our protection.
And I don't want to interrupt you, but you did mention your book. So I do
Yes.
want you to bring. So what is your book called?
Which one? I have 2 books. Well, actually 3 books that I did by myself, and I've been in 2 bestsellers. But my book, I
What's your
did
latest one?
my latest one. Oh, my latest one is Who Stole My Benefits.
Oh, wow.
You know, I'm going to get
Oh,
my
wow.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. And in that book, it talks to individual about why you need another stream of income. It talks about why you need to take authority over your own
In this
life.
day and time, we
Yes.
do need
Yes,
those things.
absolutely.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Because I wrote that book at a time where I needed to be other places, and I was working for someone else at that time, and that was back in 2001, 2002 when I actually wrote the book, but I didn't publish it until recently.
Okay.
But I couldn't go to my aunt's funeral. They told me if I went to my favorite aunt's funeral, then just don't come back.
What?
And I was like, okay, I guess I'm not coming back.
So that inspired you.
Right, because prior to that, there was a funeral I was supposed to go to, and it caused a friction because I couldn't come. It was like, how could she just not come? So I knew this time around, I had
You
to
had
go.
options.
And so then, as I was going, I was thinking, if I were going through this, there's people going through this. And then I realized people, our jobs and the society dictate to us where we live,
Exactly.
what we drive, where our kids go to
Yes.
school, where we go to school, what we
Yes.
eat, all this stuff, if we're healthy or not healthy. And when I started telling this people, they was like, well, nobody can tell you what to eat. If you can't afford to eat what's healthy, then they're telling you what you
What
eat.
you can eat.
Right.
If they're telling you cap out at that time $9.50 an hour was the cap for your pay, then they're telling you what type of house you can buy. And
Yes,
Right,
absolutely.
yes.
So in the book, I really go into details just about all that stuff. About all that stuff. You know, those ancient passion letters from Papa, the Bible, it tells us that money answereth all things, and money is a
Yes.
defender. And if you're stuck at a dead end job and all you will ever have is making, think about this: if you cap out at $9.50 an hour and say you bring home $600 a week, then if you stay at that job for the next 20 years, then you're only going to be making $600 a week as the economy is still going up.
Yes.
Yes. We're going to go to another commercial break and hear another word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back with more with Miss Katrina Lokko.
Yes.
Welcome back with Miss Katrina Lokko. So, Katrina, would you like to speak about the time in 2023 when things were extremely hard for you and your family?
Oh wow, it was a different type of year. It was a very different type of year. Financially, for me, it was a different type of year because, as you know, that I have several businesses, and that was after COVID. And I think a lot of my clients and customers were feeling that from COVID. So everything is a domino effect. So if my customers and clients had to delay using my products or services, then that affected me. And not only that, I had several deaths in the family, close death. My brother, my sister was diagnosed with breast cancer and had to have that done in the midst of being there with our dying brother. I wasn't able to go because I was here working. There was just so much going on in our family. My great niece had died. It was so much going on, and I still had to work, and I still had to film certain things. We were in the middle of the play, so
I do remember that.
So I
Yes.
couldn't just stop everything and just not do it. I had to push through it. It
Yes.
really took a lot of prayer.
You had a lot of loss doing that.
Oh, I did, and there was a lot of stuff happening with my personal body. I was gaining weight, and I was like, I need to not do this, you know. And it was just a lot of stuff going on mentally, physically, financial. But I had to push through.
Yeah.
I really had to push through.
And you did.
Yes.
I saw
And I had a lot of
Yes.
betrayal. I mean, it was a lot in 2020. She knows some of it, and she
Yes.
knows a lot of betrayal, a lot of, girl, I can't even begin to tell you, a lot of betrayal, a lot of backstabbing, a lot of gossip, hearsay, wrongdoings, all kinds of stuff. And I still had to smile in the midst of all this. And I still had to function in the midst of all that.
Yeah, you
So-
post about in a post about the betrayal. You know,
Yes,
the
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't always be like that because they use it against you.
Oh, you can't be
Yeah.
transparent. You cannot be and I never have
Not
been
to
totally
everybody.
always transparent. You cannot be
Yeah.
transparent. So that's the reason why when all this stuff was going on with me, you know, with all this stuff, I never confided in anyone except for her and of course my mom, but and my other friend Bobby.
I feel like you can
Can't.
Sorry, I feel like you can be transparent, but you have to pick and choose.
Choose
who. You
who.
can't
That's
be
true.
transparent. 'Cause
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
people go on social
Absolutely.
media and be transparent.
Right.
Like,
Oh
my
you
God.
don't need to
Yeah.
tell everybody.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
shared some things with
Yeah.
you too, you
Yes.
know, but you just cannot do that. And I think that society and that narrative of telling people, and you will not hear me tell people that, be transparent.
Oh,
you
right.
know,
Yeah.
You will not, and I'm a pastor, and I'll tell people when I'm counseling people, tell me as much as you feel comfortable telling me.
Right.
I'm not gonna get out here and tell it, but you gotta know that though, and you gotta be that person that could be trusted with the data on people's heart, because you will cause
That's why you
trouble,
ordained,
you know.
because you know that, and a lot of
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah, and it took a while. You know, when you're young, you don't know that stuff. You're like, girl, guess what? Da, da, da,
Yeah,
da.
exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, but God had to really get me to a point and say, I need you to be trusted. I need you, when people come to you, they got to know that they coming to you and it stays with you.
Yes.
Right.
And not to interrupt you, but I like that part, that last part that you said. Well, before the last part, but you mentioned about gossiping, but sometimes we don't know we gossip. And you really have to learn, like, it's unlearning some things because we see people do it, and that's how we pick up on it.
Yes.
And so I've done some things, or even been around people who gossip. You
Yeah.
know, I didn't say anything, they did. But then my name was probably thrown in there because I was
Yeah,
with them.
because you was
So
there.
it's just like, you know, you really have to be mindful of what you
do.
say, because we
Right.
may not think it's gossip, but it is gossip.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and we got to learn to stand up.
That's
Because if you're in a room and you know people are gossiping, you either, I'm going to excuse myself. And you'll hear me say it all the time.
Yes.
I've told you, I said, I'll excuse myself, or I don't want to hear it. And I'll say I don't want to hear it. And if it's gossip that I know that's gossip and a lie, I'm going to stand up. Whether you
Right.
kick me out of the room, that I'm
Exactly.
standing up, no, that's a lie.
Even,
I know
if,
for a
even
fact
if it's
that's
not a lie,
Yeah.
We're not
why are
doing
you talking
this.
about this?
Yes, we're not
Exactly.
doing this.
Exactly.
It's just, and what people don't understand, and you know me, y'all know I know the word, but what people don't realize, gossip is tied to your finance. Overeating is tied to your finance.
That's
Yes.
If you're
true.
gossiping and backbiting and doing all kinds of stuff,
And that's why you stuck where
yes,
you are. Yeah.
yes. And God had to show me that. I remember back in the early 2000s, like when I was in ministry school at the time, and I was like, okay, what's going on with my finance? He was like, your mouth. And I was like, what about my mouth?
Your mouth.
And I didn't think I was doing anything, so I had to learn to watch the conversations I had with people about people.
I'm glad you speaking
Yeah.
that, because a lot of
Exactly.
people need to hear that.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, that brings me to this. With women of abundant wealth and the things that we talk about, even with our own personal lives, the things that we go through, with this particular show, what would you want your viewers to get from what we have to say and what we do?
Okay. Well, first of all, very first key thing, because we women, we know how we can be. No
Yes,
matter how
absolutely.
saved you are, no matter how mature you are, we know how we can be. Women need to be that safe place that other women can trust. If somebody comes to you, it stays there. It stays there. So that is one thing. Be women of abundant wealth. We say healthy, wealthy, and whole. That's a part of it.
Yes.
That is very much a part of it. Are you trustworthy? Are you mature enough to handle what someone is getting ready to disclose to you?
Yes.
You know, so if I could say anything, is please be that trustworthy person. Be loyal, be faithful, be dedicated.
Yes.
Even if the people are not dedicated to you, this is power.
Yes.
And this is where you gain power, and empowerment actually is. Even if someone's not dedicated and faithful and loyal to you, if you are, you'll be blessed
Yes.
100-fold.
Yes.
Okay. I think she gave us a mouthful.
I would say she did.
Yeah, we need to have you on
That's
for
some
part
good
3.
eating.
So she's giving a lot of
Some good
a lot of
eating.
nuggets.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Katrina, so much for coming on. And thank you for everything that you do. Thank
Yes.
you for
Man, thank
everything you do in
y'all.
the community, and also for us.
Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
we
you
really
guys.
appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
And I
yes.
really love what you're doing with FMD Global. I just want you to let the audience know where they can find it.
Yes.
How they can.
We have YouTube. We have we're on all the platforms. So in 2023, like I said, when I was going through all of that stuff, I had to make a very, very hard decision to take it down. Take it down because we needed to build bigger.
Yes.
So, you know, also the word, you have to prune. We went through a pruning stage. We didn't stop
I like
filming, and we
that.
didn't stop building the network, but we had to go through a pruning stage. And so now we're still we're gonna be back on Roku, but right now everybody can watch us from FMD Global on YouTube, FMD
Okay.
Global on Rumble, so they can watch us from those platforms until we go back on Roku, and until we got some other surprises. I can't tell them everything,
Okay.
but we have some other surprises that I'm really excited about, and so it's gonna be great.
Oh,
It's gonna be
awesome.
great.
Fantastic.
And I
Yes.
just want to shout out to our team, to Success Digital Marketing. And I mean, there's so many people, our business advisors, our partners, our advertisers, there's just so many people that made it possible. It goes back to what you're saying. I didn't just do this by myself. So many people that made it possible. And you'll get to see who those people are soon. And to our other business partners who are part owner in FMD Global TV, I mean, we got some phenomenal things.
Looking forward to that.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, thank you again for coming. We're going to wrap things up. We've really enjoyed our time with Miss Katrina Lokko,
Yes.
as well as she's our executive producer of this show. So hopefully you'll come and visit us again, Miss Katrina Lokko.
I will. Just let me know when. Give me advance notice.
I guess that's any time.
Thank you all for joining us.